Have you guys ever stopped to think that the biggest enemy of your family's happiness might be, ironically, the exhausting attempt to give them the best of everything? It's a hard pill to swallow, but we need to be honest here. We live in a society that sells us the idea that being good parents is synonymous with being good providers at any cost. But let me let you in on a secret that marketing doesn't want you to know. Kids don't have a memory for price tags, but they have an elephant's memory for absence. Many couples are falling into the trap of trading presents for presents, thinking they can compensate for the lack of time with expensive toys or elite schools. But deep down, you know that the guilt you feel when coming home late after the kids are already asleep doesn't disappear with a bigger bank balance. The truth is counterintuitive. Your children would prefer you sitting on the living room floor for 30 minutes than traveling to Disney with stressed-out parents glued to their phones. If you feel like you're running on a hamster wheel, making money but losing the connection with those who matter most, stay with me. Today, we are going to dismantle this lie of success at any cost and discover together the 5 things that truly mark your children's souls forever. And the best part? None of them accept credit cards. Prepare your hearts, because what we're about to discuss could change your family's destiny. You know, it's curious how we live in a society that glorifies exhaustion, as if dark circles under the eyes were trophies on a shelf. But the naked truth is that intentional rest is not a luxury. It is a divine priority established right at the beginning of everything. If the creator of the universe himself, with all his power, decided to pause on the 7th day, who are we in the grand scheme of things to think we can function 24/7 without breaking down? This pause wasn't a sign of his fatigue, but a model of wisdom for us. Think of it as a system reset for the couple. The ancient commandments about setting aside a day weren't boring rules to hinder productivity, but a secret to keeping emotional balance and sanity in check. It's that sacred moment to turn off notifications and look each other in the eye, seeking a real connection that the daily grind swallows whole. Without this strategic pause, we turn into machines and forget that we were made for something much greater than just paying bills. Let's bring this to practice. How about you institute a shutdown Saturday, or whatever day works for you? It doesn't have to be anything mystical. It can simply be an agreement not to talk about financial problems or work for 24 hours. Go for a walk in the park without headphones, or cook that recipe you saw online together. The idea is to remember that your life purpose lies in enjoying each other's company, not just in producing results. The great master Jesus, with his impeccable teaching style, always challenged the crowd to rethink what true success is. He knew that accumulating treasures on earth without having peace of mind is like building a castle on quicksand. You need to ask yourselves if the frantic pursuit of having isn't stealing the being. After all, what good is it to conquer the world out there if inside the home, the foundation of the family legacy is full of invisible cracks? And that's where things get serious, because often we don't realize the price we're paying until the bill arrives. We convince ourselves that it's just a phase, that next year will be better. But time is a resource that doesn't accept returns. There's a subtle and dangerous trap disguised as hard work that might be silently undermining what you hold most precious, and most couples only realize it when it's already too late to turn back. Have you ever stopped to wonder if the ladder you are climbing with such effort is leaning against the right wall? It's very common for us to fall for the oldest trick in the book, that success is merely the bank balance or the job title on LinkedIn. But Jesus, with that eagle vision, dropped a truth bomb. What does it profit a man to gain the whole world and lose his own soul? When we focus only on the material, our life purpose takes a back seat, and we end up trading eternal diamonds for costume jewelry that rusts over time. Society screams that you need the car of the year and the magazine cover house, but no one talks about the cost of this on your emotional balance. True spiritual wealth isn't about being poor, it's about not letting things own you. Imagine the difference between coming home to an empty, cold mansion versus arriving at a simple apartment where peace and a real connection reign. Earthly success is loud and fleeting. Spiritual success is silent and permanent. To bring this down to real life, evaluate your latest purchases or financial goals. Are you buying things to fill a void that only divine priority can fill? Perhaps instead of focusing on the next promotion that will require 14 hours, it might be worth investing in a hobby course together or volunteering. Swap the goal of having the best sofa for the goal of having the best conversations sitting on the living room floor if necessary. Don't be fooled, my friends. The system is designed to make us feel dissatisfied all the time, but the intentional rest of the soul only comes when we understand that our value lies not in what we produce. It's a mindset shift, starting to value the invisible. If you two align this vision, you stop competing with the neighbors and start building a family legacy armored against envy and greed. But here lives a danger we tend to ignore. When this pursuit of professional success becomes the god of the house, the first victim is usually not health, it's the marriage. There's a blind spot in this rat race where the partner becomes an obstacle or just a roommate, and it is exactly in this scenario that a silent threat begins to erode the vows you made at the altar. Is it worth destroying the marriage in pursuit of professional success that often won't even remember your name when you leave the room? It is a cruel irony. We work madly saying it is for the family, but in the process, we end up sacrificing the very family we claim to protect. You need to be alert so as not to transform the couple's life purpose into a mere bill management company. When the career becomes the sun around which the planet home orbits, the relationship temperature drops drastically and emotional winter sets in. Have you noticed how overwork steals patience and sweetness? You arrive home exhausted, and real connection is replaced by grunts of tiredness, or worse, by eyes glued to the phone screen answering urgent emails in bed. Emotional balance goes down the drain when office stress sits at the dinner table. You cease to be lovers and accomplices to become just logistics partners sharing the same roof and expenses. Let's apply a practical antidote right now. Create disconnection rituals. For example, as soon as you get home, put your cell phones in a basket of forgetfulness for at least 2 hours. Use this time for a 15-minute emotional check-in. Ask, how did you feel today? Instead of, what did you do today? This small, intentional rest from external obligations signals to the brain and to the spouse that in that sanctuary, love rules, not productivity. Always remember, if you drop dead from working so much today, the company will hire someone else in a week, but your place at the dinner table will remain empty forever. It is a matter of divine priority to understand that no business entity is worth a heart attack or a divorce. Money can buy an incredible king-size bed, but it cannot buy the peaceful sleep of someone who knows they are taking good care of the heart of the person sleeping next to them. And this is where the penny really drops. When the dust settles and we look around, we realize that material things are cold and don't hug us back. Scripture and ancient wisdom point to a truth we try to ignore. The meaning of existence lies not in the things we accumulate in the garage, but in something much more pulsing and alive that we are about to unveil. Scripture doesn't stutter when it teaches that the meaning of life does not reside in things that moths destroy, but in the relationships we build. It is simple math, but we insist on complicating it. Objects are for using, people are for loving. If you reverse this order, chaos ensues. True life purpose is found when we understand that our emotional bank account needs to be fuller than our checking account. After all, at the end of the journey, no one asks to hug their diploma or new car on their deathbed. We want the hand of the one we love. It all starts with vertical alignment, placing the relationship with the Creator as the absolute divine priority. When this connection is firm, the couple's emotional balance gains an unshakable anchor. Knowing God isn't just going to the temple on the weekend, it's bringing His presence to the breakfast table. It is understanding that the love you have for each other is a direct reflection of the love you receive from above. Without this primary source, you end up demanding from your spouse a satisfaction that only heaven can give, and that is an unfair burden for any human to carry. Secondly, comes family and neighbors. This is where real connection happens in practice, eye to eye, in forgiving quickly and kissing slowly. Life gains color when we invest time, not just money, in people. A practical example: instead of working overtime to pay for luxury vacations that last only a week, try working a little less and having peaceful dinners every day. The quality of daily life is worth more than sporadic events. Swap having for being. Maybe it's time to simplify. Could you be happier living with a little less luxury and a lot more life? The intentional rest from the consumerist rush opens space for genuine joy. Try doing a happiness inventory. List the 5 happiest moments you had together in the last year. I bet most involved laughter, conversations, or simple outings, not expensive purchases. Use this as a compass to guide the household's next financial and time decisions. But pay attention, this focus adjustment doesn't just affect you two. There's a silent audience watching every move, every choice, and every absence. Your children are like sponges, absorbing not what you say, but who you are. And the question hanging in the air is whether your current lifestyle is building a family legacy of loving presence or justified absence. And that answer will define the emotional future of the next generation. Hasn't it come time to pull the handbrake and reevaluate your life route? Sometimes we go on autopilot, and before you know it, you and your spouse are on separate islands within the same house. This silent distancing is often the fruit of lacking a shared and clear life purpose. You need the courage to ask yourselves if your current lifestyle is serving the marriage, or if the marriage is being sacrificed on the altar of the standard of living. Living with a little less luxury to have much more real connection might be the most profitable trade you ever make in your family's history. Look at your children now and think from their perspective. They don't care about the brand of clothes they wear. They want to roll on the living room floor with you. In the future, their emotional memory won't retain the overtime hours that paid for the most expensive school in town, rather the moments when you were present, body and soul. The family legacy is being written right now, and the question that should echo in your minds is tough but necessary. Will they remember you as the parents who were always working and stressed, or as the parents who knew how to play and love? To change this narrative, start practicing intentional rest as a family with simple things. How about instituting fortnight in the living room? Build a tent with sheets, turn off all lights and screens, and tell stories by flashlight while eating popcorn. It's a zero financial cost activity, but it generates incalculable emotional value in the little one's memories. Actions like this teach children that happiness resides in simplicity and unity, protecting their emotional balance against a world out there that only values materialism. And don't forget a crucial detail. The best gift you can give your children is a healthy and bulletproof marriage. When they see their parents exchanging affection, respect, and prioritizing time together, they feel secure and loved. Place your relationship as a divine priority, for the emotional stability of the home depends entirely on the couple's union. Show them in practice that love is not just a feeling, but a daily decision to be together, whatever the cost. Making this route adjustment requires the courage to swim against the current, but the reward is seeing the family flourish in fertile soil of true love. You have the absolute power to rewrite the family story starting today, transforming the exhausting routine into a light journey full of meaning. But for this transformation to be complete and truly lasting, there is a fundamental principle, often forgotten, that serves as the master key to opening all the doors that seem locked. We have reached the moment of truth. Knowing all this and doing nothing is like holding a treasure map and remaining lost by choice. The question isn't whether you can change, but whether you will have the courage to redefine what really matters. Look to the side now. Look at your spouse, at your children. What do you want them to feel when they remember you 20 years from now? Longing for your presence or resentment of your absence? Family transformation doesn't start next Monday. It happens in the decision you make right now. But I know that sometimes, even wanting to focus on the family, it seems that the foundation of everything, the relationship between you two, needs urgent reinforcement. Perhaps you feel that electric chemistry from the beginning has cooled off, and you don't know how to bring that intimacy back amidst the chaos of routine. Well, for the house to stand, the foundation needs to be solid. There is special content appearing highlighted on the screen right now that is exactly what you need to rescue that lost connection and reignite the flame in record time. Watch it because it is the essential step for all of this to work. And of course, subscribe to the channel and turn on the notification bell because our journey to building an unshakable family is just beginning.